kwamba sasa amefuzu na yuko tayari. Hao ndio wanaotoa nambari hizi za kipindi cha maombi ya kufungua rasmi ambayo taongozwa na
We are here today to mark a huge milestone in our security sector reforms agenda. The launch of the first private security training institution is a groundbreaking initiative that not only signifies a paradigm shift in the private security sector, but also spells a whole new aspect for our national security. It's imperative that the private security industry aligns to the government's national security agenda that is focused on addressing some of the most pressing challenges within the sector. And under the leadership of President Ruto, there is a whole program that is geared towards addressing the security challenges that we face as a country. First, the President pronounced himself by setting up a task force that was to look into the welfare, not just of the police officers, but also prison officers, together with our officers who serve within the National Youth Service. Away from that, there is a whole program on police modernization. And this is just to be able to ensure that our police officers have the adequate tools to be able to undertake or perform their responsibilities. Now, what we are doing today is basically to speak into that government program on addressing the national security challenges. And as the private security officers, you basically are the first port of call in terms of helping us deal with the issues around security in the country. As you are all aware, private security firms play a very instrumental role in complementing our security services. Hardly can you walk into a building, a shopping mall, a residential area, or any other installation with human traffic without seeing these hardworking and dedicated Kenyans. In fact, private guards are part of the first line of emergency response. Their actions make a significant difference in the outcome of critical situations, highlighting their crucial role in ensuring public safety and security. We currently have over 900,000 people employed in this sector, with this industry now worth more than 100 billion annually. This alone highlights how critical a driver this sector is for our economy in terms of job creation and contribution to our GDP. And that's why we are focused on re-engineering and streamlining its operations to ensure effective and efficient service delivery. And as a ministry, one is that we must be able to give dignity to officers like the officers that we've seen today. And it begins, first of all, by ensuring that they're properly trained, but we must go beyond just the training. It has to be reflected in terms of how we remunerate them, in terms of how we look out for their welfare. And Chairman, who is in charge of the private security organization in the North Rift, this is a challenge I want to throw to you and your colleagues, that we must ensure that we give dignity to our officers who offer security within the private space. At the heart of these security reforms is providing them with the right training so that they can detect, deter, and effectively respond to the current and emerging security threats appropriately. Further, we intend to have private guards adequately equipped with the requisite security equipment and the tools of trade to enable them handle security situations in times of need. And we don't need to go any further. There's been a very good demonstration of what is possible when you work with the canine officers. It's also been demonstrated here when our friend Omollo was presenting on what training they are doing with regards to counter-terrorism measures. So these are very crucial ingredients that we must be able to avail to our private security officers. Today's event recognizes the contribution of these unsung heroes and the need to equip them with the necessary skills and knowledge to continue serving us as a dependable and effective presence in times of need. This security training institution we are launching today, the curriculum and the training guidelines speaks to the needs of this sector. And we were able to even see that it's possible to conduct training for officers who are unable to physically come to this facility through use of technology. They not only meet the growing demand for well-trained professionals, but also raise the bar for industry standards, ensuring that the highest level of professionalism, competence, and integrity in the private security sector. Being products of a highly consultative process that has benefited from various stakeholders and experts, the institution, curriculum, and guidelines pave the way for enhancing the ethical standards of private security personnel. We are also starting to issue security force numbers, and we did this for about 20 of the officers, who then would be able to be recognized and identified by members of the community or in terms of where they offer their services, so that there is no ambiguity in terms of who the security officers are. But this also will also help us in ensuring that we are able to keep track of what each of the officers are doing. Given their distribution across the country and their positions as points of contact, we are committed to deepen the collaboration between our national security organs and the private security industry to ensure our collective security capacity. Now, at various levels, whether it's at the regional or at the county, we have our county security intelligence committees. And I would want to challenge and urge that as we look into the issues of security within the county, these are critical players whom we must also be able to engage, because they are the first points of contacts. And it will make it easy for us not just to react to situations, but to be preventive or to be able to deter situations that might actually degenerate. Kenya today is faced with a number of security challenges. Of course, we are having issues around illicit drugs and alcohol, and there's a whole space there that has provided very good grounds for criminals to take advantage of our youths, but also at the same time necessitate situations that aggravate our security infrastructure. Away from that, we've had challenges with banditry in the north, and it's an engagement we continue to have. As a government, not just relying on our National Police Service, we've had to bring on board our officers from KDF. We've also had to have engagements with the national, with the Kenya Police Reservice. But also, the biggest resource we have is the community, where we are experiencing these challenges. And we continue to engage so that we can have a permanent solution to the challenge that we faced with regards to banditry. Terrorism still remains a challenge, but again, as a government, we are on top of things. We are doing the police equipment modernization to increase the capacity of our police officers to be able to not just arrest the situation with the terrorist, but also to be able to deter and make it easy for Kenyans to easily go about their businesses without deterrence. It therefore gives me great pleasure and honor to preside over the launch of Miale Security Training Institution. Of course, there's a robust curriculum that has been put together, as well as the training guidelines for this sector. And in a special way, I want to congratulate Miale Security Training Institute. The leadership has done a commendable job, and I look forward to this institution being an institution where other institutions who would be interested in conducting or organizing and managing similar training programs can always be able to come and benchmark. And as the private security regulatory agency continues to do its work, it's important that the standards are set in a manner that we don't downgrade or degrade the process of ensuring that our officers are properly trained, but also in the right environment. I don't expect to see similar institutions coming up in spaces that is not conducive to conduct training. And it will be important, Bwana DG, that you take a lot of interest, because with this launch, I'm sure there will be a lot of interest. There will be a lot of private players who would want to be licensed or approved. Let's ensure that we don't lower the standards. Through the lens of this institution and curriculum, we look forward to a better private security sector that embraces a deep commitment to ensuring the safety and well-being of our communities. Together, we can foster a private security sector that is characterized by being reliable, efficient, and provides professional services.